You have mentioned several interesting points. You know, people are connected to the internet, something bad is going to happen. And today we're at the dawn of an era where our vehicles are connected to the internet. And whenever things get connected to the internet, things happen. We've seen it in the traditional PCs, we have seen it in the mobile devices, we've seen it, we're now seeing it in the IoTs and vehicle. So being an insider of IT security for such a long time, how do you see such thing? Internet being in the car, connected vehicle, autonomous driving, how do you see the industries perceiving it?
Well, for me, it's a matter of exposure. So the more connectivity you have, the higher exposure level you will end up into. Back in the days, maybe if you had to have a wire connection in the vehicle, in that control bus or whatever we can call it, to get hold of the ECUs, the different components, the parts in it. So as soon as you can start playing with them, talking to them, you can start looking at the protocols they're using. If there are any issues, any breaches, anything like that, and those protocols and the operating system implementations, then people will probably start fighting about these and starting probably to exploit these if there is anything to win by exploiting them. But as said, when you do introduce other type of means or networking, then you are basically expanding the type of exposure available. So with that, a lot of more people will have the ability to do the same thing. You don't need necessarily to be sitting in that car anymore, or just beside that device. You can do it over the internet maybe. The same thing happens when, vehicles are already today connected to telemetry system, backend system of some sorts. So if somebody is in that backend system, in the telemetry system, they can probably reach out to that car or that vehicle as well. So we are ending up in a situation where we have a lot of different attack vectors. I will call them attack vectors because they will probably get weaponized sooner or later. Somebody will find out something about something and that they will try to utilize that to do something. Like I personally believe that we're gonna, I don't know when, but maybe soon, see the first ransomware case on a vehicle. It's just a matter of why isn't that possible? Well, it's just another computerized system, right? If somebody can hijack the control over that vehicle and then demand a ransom for that to release that control, why isn't that possible? Just because it's a vehicle doesn't mean that it's nothing strange about that. There is a computer system. If somebody can control that computer system, then we are very much there. The same thing is we're just looking at the history, looking at the trends we have in the cybersecurity sector. We see a lot of these things going on right now. So ransomware attacks are higher than ever. Crypto mining attacks, the same thing. There are a lot of things that people never thought they will end up into that's happening today in front of our eyes. So as I told you, I just flew in the middle actually of an incident response case we have with one of our customers in the Nordics. And they, over a night, they got all their systems encrypted. It's nothing fancy, it's nothing strange, it's nothing special anymore. We see this happening over and over again. So an attacker got hold of one of their systems through a spear phishing, what we believe, and then in a matter of 2 hours, all servers in that environment were encrypted. So that's all it took. So the whole business is suffering from that action, right? So imagine if that could happen in the backend system for vehicles. In a telemetry system, such way you can control what's going on these vehicles, for instance. Or you can maybe cripple those vehicles one or other way. So you're making life difficult for whomever trying to use them proper ways. So there are a lot of, as I said, attack vectors, ranging everything from having physical access to the vehicle, having maybe wireless access if you just happen to be nearby, close by it. We've seen reports from the Homeland Security about airplanes just last year, they were telling us, hey, they actually found or they knew about they did know that there were software problems or problems existing in avionic systems on some of the modern airplanes. But nobody almost believed that until they prove it. Okay, and then there was a lot of writing about it, and there was a lot of buzz about it. So things are getting interconnected. Like if we have a look at the similarities between the avionic systems and the automotive systems. Back in the days, we had totally different systems for the avionic and the entertainment on board of the airplane. Today, these two systems are interconnected, and there is a software firewall in between in most of the cases. So, well, what if a software issue exists in that thing?
Right.
And somebody decided, hey, I just want to go after that and see where we could go. So there are a lot of, as said, points we need to start really bother about really seriously. We cannot just say, hey, just because well, what can you do with a vehicle? Well, you can still do a lot of interesting things. It's not just a computer; it's a computer and wheel, obviously.
It's a computer and wheel,
right?
And
And the bigger vehicle is, the more damage you can cause. I mean, speaking about not just cyber threats, we're speaking about physical threats in terms of somebody can control that thing to go somewhere else and do greater havoc, and maybe just in traffic or in a city or something like that.